GTA has always been a series of controversy. This has been a main selling point for the series as it uses a laid-back stance on ethics and violence to inspire free advertising through public uproar. The latest addition to the franchise, GTA 5, aims to take the unethical behavior to a whole new level through glorifying criminal acts, hating police, and desensitizing their audience through the immense violence featured. GTA 5 is an open-world adventure role-playing game, developed and released by Rockstar Games in 2013. In the game, the player can do anything they desire from yoga to mass murder. Within GTA 5, many topics of ethics and violence concern the general public as these issues adversely affect the player base. GTA 5, through its portrayal of no ethical or moral values, are affecting those playing the game. Featuring the morally disgusting acts of killing police and antagonizing them is also having a profound effect on the player's view of police, authority, and laws outside of the game world. Throughout the story and game, the police are seen as an evil that is inhibiting you from committing your acts of evil. This reinforces the negative connotation towards police that this game inspires through glorifying being a criminal. According to J.R. Gentile, video games are exemplary teachers of aggression, much in the same way the player could learn to disrespect and antagonize police. Removing this link between safety and the police can cause detrimental effects to those that are more impressionable by the emotions and events they experience in games. Making players think that they aren't safe when around police or calling them for help may put other people's lives in danger, all because of the subtle yet detrimental implication made through the game. Through implanting these behaviors of distrust and disrespect, the player of the game is being detrimentally affected in real life and may put others in harm's way, reinforcing immoral and negative thoughts in their minds. Games are becoming more and more immersive through their graphics, stories, and emotions conveyed. But have GTA 5 developers Rockstar Games taken it too far when combining casual violence of the game and first person? When the game was in third person, there was a significant barrier preventing the player from connecting these events in the game from those in real life. But now that this barrier has been removed, the events of the game are all the more real. With no third-person barrier to help players separate these actions from real life, the true brutality and criminal behavior of GTA 5 has a much more profound effect on its players, especially those of an impressionable nature. The player can no longer see the protagonist committing all these atrocities. They see a gun in their hand, murdering and stealing as if it were them. This new level of immersion acts as a way to glorify being a criminal, making the player think that they can do what the in-game characters do. As media is most powerful in our lives when it reinforces our existing values, the player could be inspired to follow suit as, especially among a younger audience, it is considered cool to rebel against authority and be bad, inspiring and reinforcing these immoral actions, swaying the moral compass of those affected to a more negative position. This new level of immersion is subtly making it okay for players in real life to commit these gratuitous acts of violence and depravity. This is therefore acting as a method to mentally remove consequences from real-life events, reinforcing in the player's mind that it is okay to be a criminal. Through the acts of mass murder and violence that can be committed in GTA 5, the players involved in this game are having their emotions and aggression adversely affected. In a 2008 study on the gaming habits of about 2,500 young people, Gentile and his father, psychologist J. Ronald Gentile, found that children and adolescents who played more violent games were likelier to report aggressive cognitions and behaviors. Through this, it is shown that violent video games, tamer than GTA 5, show increases in heightened physically aggressive behavior and violent behavior in the real world in a long-term context among its player base. The player base of these games are negatively impacted as they are much more likely to engage in acts of violence, making them a threat to those around them and possibly themselves. With the newly in place first-person mode in GTA 5, the atrocities committed in the game have been taken to an all-new level, actively desensitizing and morally corrupting players via making this game feel as close to real as possible, essentially decaying the player's emotional state until they are fully desensitized to the acts of violence, meaning they are guilt-free when experiencing it. Playing violent video games can lead to habituation of the act, which in turn desensitizes the person experiencing the violent events in the game. This will emotionally degrade the player, removing all feelings of guilt towards violence, allowing them to commit these acts with little to no remorse. Studies have shown that exposure to violent video games, even for just 20 minutes, can cause people to be less psychologically aroused by real violence. Therefore, violent video games, much like GTA 5, are essentially numbing the player base to violent acts, allowing them to commit and view these acts in real life without GTA 5's effect on its player base is of great concern and has an adverse negative effect on the mental health of the players. In this installment of the franchise, developers have introduced first-person mode which subtly desensitizes, increases aggression, and enforces a rebellious nature within the player, glorifying criminal behavior, therefore negatively impacting players